Hey, good evening, folks, and welcome to the Let's Go Fishing Show. And as you can see, I've got a special guest with me tonight, and it's Travis Lemons. Travis, good to have you, man.
Thank you, Steve.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you having us on.
Travis is the director, and he is the grand poobah of getting things rolling for St. Jude's benefit tournament. Which is, I've talked about it for several weeks now. It's the third annual Roane County Bass Tournament benefit, St. Jude's Children's Hospital. And I'm going to say a couple of things, and while you're looking at the flyer there, and then we're going to come back to Travis, and he's going to tell us about what they got planned, what's going on, what's better from last year to this year, and the money they raised and what the money's going for. And I'm going to tell you, I don't think there's a better benefit around.
It's an amazing cause. It really is. It's when you visit that hospital, it really, really validates what we're trying to do. It really does.
I agree.
It's incredible.
And he has a great passion for what he's doing, folks, and I really admire him for that. But right off the get-go, I want to say hello to my dad, and as usual, and Dad, I wish you were over here with us. I want to say hello to Polly and Bill up there in Clinton, and to the Wilson family. They didn't get their cable hooked up last week, so I'm hoping they're ready to go this week and watching the show. And Jackson, I hope you're there watching with them, with your mom, dad, and your sister. So say hello to all of them. Folks, do remember our sponsors. Without a doubt, and there's some things I need to add to the down to Rockwood there at the compost piles and what have you. We'll get with that here in a minute. That advertisement's up on the screen, but sometime tonight I'll give you some more info on that business and what they're adding to help you do your landscape and whatnot. So we're going to cut to Travis, and he's going to tell us what it's all about.
Well, this year's our third annual Roane County Bass Tournament. It's hard to believe it's already at the third annual.
Yeah.
Seems like just a couple months ago that we brought up doing this in February of 14. Really hard to believe that it's already here. Third annual's upon us. We're just a little over a week out, but it's here. We were told in year one, Steve, by a lot of people that if we were able to get 50 boats, it would be a huge turnout. And man, the good Lord blessed us, because we had about 74 boats in year one, and it went great. Fast forward to year two last year, the second annual, and man, we really got blessed and jumped up to 121 boats. And just an amazing day. The people that turned out showed up to fish, and couldn't do it without them. That's just a thought I had. Got some people behind me, got on board with us, helped it. Sponsors picked up, jumped on board, and got a lot of those to thank here in just a little bit. But man, things are great, and got a few things here and there along the way to tweak, keep getting better at. But we're growing, we're learning, and got a lot of positive feedback coming. So that's a good thing.
Yes.
Trying to keep moving forward.
I agree 100%, and you guys are doing that. That's a good sign. You doubled from the first year to the second year, over doubled your participation, and I look for it to triple this year.
Well, we hope so. I think we're sitting somewhere in the low to mid 50s right now on the registration count. I hope that will really pick up the next week, and then I would love to see 100 plus pre-registered by next Friday. Mm-hmm. And that'll really help out. I'd love to see 150 boats this year. May not happen, may not reach 100, but we've tried, we've worked, we've pushed, we've advertised, the sponsors have got on board and helped push. So, hopefully the good Lord will bless us and we'll see over 100, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, sounds like a plan. Folks, if you're seeing the screen, that's some pictures Travis has took with some of the events that's went on, maybe the tournament, and even down at the hospital with the kids and this, that, and the other. So you know, you're getting some nice photos of what this thing's all about. And
I tell you, it's I've been a part of the Roane County St. Jude Events Committee for about 7 or 8 years, I guess, Steve. And our golf tournament's our crown jewel event. This year we had our 17th annual 2 weeks ago, and what an amazing deal that was. It's just unbelievable, the people and the sponsors that show up for that tournament. You know, obviously our county is the Roane County St. Jude Events Committee, but by no means are we an exclusive committee. We're open to sponsors and helpers from outside the county. We have folks from all over the certain parts of the state. We actually even have some folks from other states that come in to play in our events and participate, sponsor. The bass tournament picked up a great sponsor, as well as the golf tournament for this year. Some people from down in Dalton, Georgia last year with Whitfield Electric Motor Sales actually came up and participated in the fishing tournament last year, and they got on board this year and sponsored the fishing tournament and the golf tournament. So, you know, we want to thank those guys. So we're growing year in, year out. You know, we are growing. Obviously, the golf tournament has already laid its foundation well years ago. It is what it is. But the fishing tournament that we have, you know, last year was big time from year one, and what we're trying to do and where we're going, and hope everybody continues to show up and support that. And then we also have a motorcycle ride in the fall, and that's getting bigger and bigger each year. So, but like I said, by no means is our committee exclusive to anybody, and but it's really special to be a part of a small committee that we have, and see the joy on the faces of those kids when you give that hospital the money that we give them, knowing what it's going for. And last fall in November, we gave St. Jude's $192,000 from the past 2 years of benefit events that we have done for them. That was a pretty special night there.
Man, I tell you what, makes chills run up and down my back when I think about that. That's a great donation. Hopefully it can be more.
It's what we're trying for. You know, commissioner of our committee, which is Greg Hill from Rockwood, you know, Greg always says it takes every one of us. It takes all of us to do what we do, and that couldn't be any further from the truth. You know, it takes effort from every single person to do what we do with our events.
Man, you know, it's like I said, it touches me to see your passion and all the other people's that's involved in this thing. You know, as far as I'm concerned, I get to enjoy myself out there fishing.
Yeah,
you know,
I wished I could get there. Maybe in 3 or 4 more years, I can turn the reins over and let somebody else run it, and I can go out and enjoy it. Maybe.
I understand. You know, it's so you know, I feel for you, and I know you all get started early during the tournament. And as a matter of fact, I guess you got plans for Friday night. Friday, you're getting set up and all this kind of stuff.
Yes, sir. What we'll do is Friday afternoon, Friday evening, on the 20th, we will roughly around 5 o'clock that afternoon, we'll start moving into the city park, setting up, and getting tents and banners and signs and all that ready, and we'll be there till about 9 o'clock. Then we try to go home and get just a little bit of rest, because you guys like to show up but very early, so which is what we like. So you know, we're glad to go home and get just a couple hours nap and get back up and get back down there and start getting you guys in the water. And I tell you, probably the biggest joy for me the entire day is you would think would be the end of the tournament. That afternoon, after we've done what we've done and figured out what we've raised and everything, I think the biggest joy for me is probably standing on that start boat.
Yeah,
watching each one of you guys go by. That's pretty special. I got tore up last year, and there's some pictures out there of me, you know, sitting there with my head between my hands in my lap. And I won't be shy to admit it. I'm an emotional guy. And when you see that many boats go by, that young of a tournament,
that's right.
It just gets to you.
Yeah,
really gets to you. It's home, and you know, it's a great cause. Everybody's showing up, and couldn't be blessed anymore, then I don't know. Just beyond blessed.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I get that way when we blasting off out there. I mean, just thinking, man, look at all the people that support, supporting what we're trying to do, and you know, I'm like this, and you know, it's the thrill of the competition, being able to compete, but it's also a good feeling knowing that what we're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I tell you, Steve, a lot of people take things for granted, and I'll be the first to admit I have too in my life. You know, and people, I told the guys this last year that morning when everybody was sitting up there getting ready for blast off. I had a look, you know, I said a few things, and one of the things I said was everybody there that day has some kind of what they consider a problem.
Oh, yeah.
Where are we going to fish? How am I going to afford gas? How am I going to afford to fish that tournament? Or how am I going to be able to do this or do that with my family next week? You know, making decisions on where you want to eat, where you want to go, what you want to do, what kind of truck you want to buy or boat you want to buy. Should I buy these rods? Should I buy this tackle? I don't know how I'm going to buy that rod and reel. I want that tackle. Well, you know what? For those folks that have got those problems, those are minor.
Oh, yeah.
They don't have problems.
No,
we don't have problems.
No.
Steve, those kids in that hospital are the ones that have problems.
I agree with
those families that have to travel and leave home and stay away from home for long periods of time and deal with their kids getting chemotherapy every day, every other day, 2 or 3 times a week, all kinds of surgeries they have to go through. Those are the people that have problems.
Agreed.
And that's why we're here to do what we do, is to help those folks out.
That's right. And, you know what? Listen, man, I don't care how bad you think you got it. Just turn the corner and you'll run into somebody that's a lot worse off.
Amen.
I mean, that's just the way I've always felt about it. And we just do what we got to do and keep moving on.
That's all you can do.
Yeah.
That's all you can do.
How about tell us what you're planning for running the tournament down there Saturday morning. I know you've changed your position of the blast-off boat and the parking and all that. What can we expect?
Okay, well, last year people kind of thought I was crazy wanting to put this on at the city park. First of all, city park obviously will only hold about 21 truck and trailers at the park itself. And then if you fill the gravel pits up with the park, that's about 59 truck and trailers. So what I done last year was I went back January of last year, I went to some people and got permission from the Roane County School Board, excuse me, to have their parking lot for overflow parking. So then I went to the Parks and Rec people and the City of Kingston Police that was running traffic control and security for us, and they allowed us the right to run golf carts back and forth across the road and shuttle drivers from the parking lot at the high school back over to the ramp and then back to the truck in the afternoon, and that helped a lot.
Oh, yeah.
That helped a lot. We funneled everybody through. We checked the live wells right as they're pulling in and getting out to, you know, take the tie downs, the motor toters, that stuff off and get ready. We're checking live wells so they can get in the ramp, get out, get parked. And never had anyone complain to me or any of our committee members at all that helped us with the fishing tournament last year, really on the parking and the flow of getting everybody in. Everybody thought we done well. Kind of going to be the same thing this year as far as getting everybody in the water, the parking. We will have the high school parking lot there at Kingston for overflow. They can dump in at the park or the gravel pits and shoot across the road. Park there, we'll have golf carts running shuttle. We also have 58 landing over in front of Brentwood Estates. They can use that ramp.
Right.
Option of lad landing and coming in by boat. Anybody that comes in by boat will have to get out and come up and register and get their blast-off ticket or check in if they've pre-registered, and their live wells will be checked at that time from the bank.
Yep.
As far as blast-off that morning, things got a little chaotic last year and a little hairy, and that's all on me, the tournament director. I'm not going to have anybody get hurt on our clock, on my time. It's not going to happen. I'm going to do whatever I got to do to calm that down and settle it. So what we're going to try this year, Steve, is we're going to have 2 pontoon start boats anchored down, and it's going to be a tunnel start. I'll call boat number 1. Boat number 1 will idle between our pontoon boats. Once you clear us, you can turn left or right, take off which direction you want to go, and nail the throttle and get going.
Yep.
The next boat will be coming through as the first one takes off. The next one will be starting through the tunnel.
Right.
And we're going to do it one at a time that way. And I think that's going to be a good, safe way. We're going to spread out wide enough that you could do 2 or 3 between us, but we're only going to do one at a time. And just basically, if someone decides to go around our pontoon start boats,
Right.
I'm either going to dock you at the scales. I may even disqualify you from the tournament. And that's just the way it's going to be. Because I can't risk having somebody cross one side and somebody cross the other and collide and have an accident. It's not going to happen on my clock.
I agree.
It's for the safety of everybody, and we're going to try it this year that way. So I ask for everybody to be patient with us. Just let's just try it this year and see how it goes. We may have to make an adjustment. It may work perfectly smooth. I don't know. We're just going to try it and see. Right. So that's going to be the big change that morning. It'll be a little bit slower getting I think the last 2 years it's took between 10 and 15 minutes to get everybody going. And I think that's real good, but it's gotten kind of dangerous, and I don't like that. I'd rather it take 30 minutes to get everybody going and it be good and safe.
Yeah.
And so and we've got some people this year that are going to be fishing that's got a lot lesser horsepower than most of these guys do as far as their big motor goes. I actually had one guy call me and asked me if there was a size limit on the boat and the horsepower. And I said, well, I'll just tell you, no, there's not. There's nothing in the rules at this time about that, and here's the reason that is. St. Jude's, when it comes to a child, doesn't turn a child away because of their race, their religion, or their family's inability to pay their bills.
Yep.
They do not turn a child away for those things. So if I've got someone that wants to fish our tournament and help us support St. Jude's, I'm going to do everything in my power to take them and let them fish it.
All right.
And then I asked this gentleman, I said, let me ask you a question. What size motor do you have on your boat? And what size boat do you have? He looked at me and he said, I've got a 14-foot John boat. And I'm thinking, okay. And I said, well, here's what we'll do. I'll let you fish the tournament. I don't have a problem with that. I would love for you to fish the tournament. But I'm going to request that you blast off at the end. That way you're not a liability of getting yourself hurt. And he said, here's the deal. He said, I've got a son. I think he said his son was 9, 10, somewhere right in there, maybe 11. He said, my son's the one that wanted to come fish your tournament. I said, buddy, you guys come on. We'd love to have you.
Right.
And he said, so what we'll probably do is just stay on the trailer until everybody almost gets going, and we'll dump the water and get ready to go out last. He said, we just want to fish it. My boy wants to fish it. And that made me feel good. But, until we have an issue with blast off and horsepower of a motor and the size of the boat, that's when I'll address it.
I agree.
But until then, I'm trying not to turn anybody away.
No. Man, I grew up in the era where they had these shotgun blast-offs, and we'd go over at Turkey Creek there on Loudon and fish that tournament over there in the spring, in the Dogwood Arts tournament, they called it, and shucks, they'd be 150, 200 boats. They'd be lined up, and then the guy would go boom, so I'm a great believer in what you're doing, and I like these ease-offs. It's a lot safer, and so what you've done with that gentleman, and he realizes the potential danger there.
Absolutely.
Also.
Yes,
and these things, these guys, well, they get a little wild at times. And I like your setup. What you're planning on doing with the 2 pontoon boats, it's more of an ease off than it is a blast off.
Exactly. Yep.
And
exactly
it's going to be a lot safer. And because that could throw a bad light on the great event if we had a boat accident out there. And I think you've done everything to stem that, and I really appreciate you doing that.
I think you've got a lot of guys that have a chip on their shoulder about the boat they have and the horsepower motor, and they just want to be the first guy to make that turn down there at the bridge. They don't care how they have to do it or what line they run. They just want to be the first one. When they weigh in that afternoon, they want to say they was the first one to make the cut. And that's okay if they can, but we want to do it safely. We don't need to have the day shadowed by an accident and someone hurt.
Yeah.
And so we're going to do everything in our power to make sure that doesn't happen.
Sounds like you've conquered the beast and got the plan. That sounds like a great plan to me. It should work to a T, and it's just that's what we're all used to anymore. These you just ease off, and it's just one boat behind the other, and so it sounds like to me you got it figured out.
Well, I won't say I've got it figured out, Steve. We're just in year 3, and as like I told you last year, I've never up until the first year, I never had been involved at all whatsoever with putting on a fishing tournament.
Right.
Been around quite a few of them. Been around a lot of guys that have fished them. Fished a few myself over the years. But took what knowledge I had, what knowledge I surrounded myself with other people, and just tried to put all that together and make something work. And it's been good so far. It's not been great, but I think it's getting better, and I think we'll get there. I believe we will.
And I think you're on the right track. And like you said, the best cause we could ever help. And so what if we make a little boo-boo here and there? We're still getting it to the people that need it, and I think that's an awesome amount that you guys turned into the hospital down there, the $192,000. It's just awesome. And I just hope we can better that down here this year, and with your work and the group that you work with.
It's an amazing group of people. It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. And I tell you, it's we just get things rolling as far as our events go. It's guys like you and everybody else out there that show up and fish in the fishing tournament, the golfers that show up and golf in the golf tournament, the people that get on board to sponsor our tournaments and help us. We couldn't do it without them. It takes everybody to do what we do. And, I mean, you can't say that enough, from the sponsors to the participants. And, all I done was have a vision of getting this going and put the wheels in motion, and then everything else has just been kind of rallying around, and that's what it takes.
Right.
It takes that.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of effort, and it takes a lot of time. And people don't realize that, the time and the effort that it takes. But it's worth every second of it. Every second.
I agree. Well, you got a couple of more. You're going to have some things. You selling chances on a Yeti cooler, and you're going to sell chances on a side-by-side, or?
Yes, sir. Yeah. I think, unfortunately, I believe that the Polaris 1000 Razor side-by-side that we are selling raffle tickets on, I believe that it will be at Brimstone that weekend. I don't think that it will be at the fishing tournament. We will have tickets for sale at the tournament. That will be raffled off. I think the date's November the 5th this fall at the Roane County Park at our motorcycle ride our committee puts on. And that's spearheaded by Joey Sexton.
Yep.
He ran that last year, and he's doing it again this year. And what him and his wife Marlene done last year with the 900 that we raffled last year was absolutely amazing. And so we've upped it to a 1,000 this year. We've stepped our game up with that, and right now it's going pretty good.
Yeah.
We have a Yeti Tundra 45 cooler that we're raffling off. We started sales on it at the fishing show and have had tremendous response on that thing. It has done very well. And we will sell on it up until about 30 minutes or so before time to draw it at the fishing tournament. Okay. We'll give it away that afternoon. You don't have to be present to win that Yeti. You don't have to be present to win the Razor. You don't have to participate in any of the events to purchase tickets on either item. It's open to anybody in the public to purchase tickets on those. But yeah, that's just a couple of things we do, and those really helped our committee last year. The Razor was a big time help last year. Really did help out a lot, and really set the tone and pushed our fundraising effort goal up there as far as what we was able to do and give back to St. Jude's. Yeah. So yeah, those are a couple of things we're doing, and maybe a few other things come down the road. We got some things in the works, but we'll see how that turns out.
All the money that's raised on these tickets, folks, goes into Kitty for the main objective. So those things are, I don't know, I guess you got them donated or by sponsors or what have you, but you guys get to take the money and send it to St. Jude's along with the rest of whatever you raise. So it's all, what I'm trying to get to, I guess, is if you're not going to get to fish the tournament, you can buy a chance on the cooler.
Absolutely.
Or on the side by side.
Absolutely.
Or two or three chances.
Yeah, we've got the cooler will be with us at the park next Friday night, and then I'll obviously be there at the fishing tournament all day. And as you said, like we talked about, you do not have to participate in the event. So if you're out and about and want to stop by and watch and see what we're doing that day or that afternoon, come on by. Watch these guys come weigh in. It's pretty neat to see a lot of these guys, these nice rigs. They come in with these boats. Watch them weigh in, see some great fish. Just meet a lot of great people. Buy you raffle tickets on the Yeti or the Razor. But that's how we do it. And we've got a couple of ways you can keep up with where the Yeti's going to be or the Polaris Razor through Facebook on my personal page. You can also go to Joey Sexton's Facebook page, and you can also go to Roane County St. Jude Polaris Razor giveaway page. Mm-hmm. And then there's also one other page, and that's the Roane County Bass Tournament page. Right. We usually update on those items and where they're going to be, and when we're going to draw them. And then, of course, once we do it, we let everybody know what we done and how it went. So those are a couple pages that they can go to and kind of track and keep up with where it's going to be or where they can go and buy tickets on those items.
And that sounds great, folks. So you got several different ways to help the cause.
Absolutely. And absolutely. And we've had several sponsors this year and some folks donated, didn't really sponsor, but donated to our committee. It said, we didn't really know about you guys. So instead of sending their money straight to St. Jude's, they sent it to a committee in their own county and let that in, and it goes. It's just the same. Yeah. And we do credit card sales through St. Jude's with folks, as well. So it's a good deal, and we've just been very blessed as a committee for the people in and around our county that come aboard and help us do what we do.
Man, I tell you what, that's bottom line, we got some great people around us.
We do, absolutely.
That live in this area.
Absolutely.
And, like we said a while ago outside, we all try to help one another.
Yep. Yeah, that's what it takes. It takes that. It takes a tremendous effort, and it's definitely not a one-man show by no means. No means.
Well, is there anything? There's some things you wanted to mention.
Mm-hmm. Pre-registration right now is at Bunch Marine. We'll send you off that morning. Blast off will be by order of registration. Pre-registration will be at Bunch Marine until next Friday, the 20th, at about roughly 5 o'clock. I will go by and pick up registration, and we'll have it at the city park with us that afternoon till about 9 o'clock as we're setting up, getting ready for the next day. Mm-hmm. So you can get by Bunch Marine, see those folks, check them out, take a look at their place. They've got some awesome inventory there. Great sponsor of ours for 3 years now. But go by and see Curtis and the folks. They'll take care of you. They can get you signed up for our fishing tournament. But like I said, we'll take it up at 5 o'clock next Friday, have it at the park. You can come by the park and see us. You can sign up there. Okay. And then you can also obviously sign up the morning of. And there's no late fee penalty or anything added for signing up the morning of either. You can sign up the day of.
Okay.
So $100 entry fee. $25 of that is guaranteed to St. Jude's. What's left of that will go towards the top 20 in payout. After the top 20 is paid, the rest of what's left will go with the raffle ticket, with the auction raffle items towards St. Jude's Hospital. Okay. First place this year is, again, as last year, guaranteed $3,000 to the winners. So we got that again, and then this year we've upped the purse payout through second through fifth place. We've spread out about $800 through those spots this year.
Right.
and then 6th through 10th will be 200, and then 11th through 20th will be the entry fee money back. It's a 5-fish limit. We have a big fish largemouth prize again this year of $500, and there's no buy-in for this. It's sponsored, so that money's there. We have a big fish smallmouth prize of $500 this year, and again, that's sponsored as well. No buy-in for those. So that's something else we've got going. Now, the 2nd through 20th payout this year is based on a minimum of 150 boat entries. So if we hit 150 or more, second place will pay $1,500. Third place will pay $1,000. Fourth will pay $800. Fifth will be $500. 6th through 10th, $200, like I said, and 11th through 20th will be $100.
Yeah. Now,
I'm not going to give away everything, but we're working on a little something. Could be some payback there for 1 or 2 teams possibly outside of the top 20 that didn't make the cut. Could be something coming for them possibly. We've got something in the works, so that's something that could be a possibility next Saturday. There could be a team or 2 possibly could end up with some prize money maybe.
Yeah.
Something we've added in this year for a little kicker just to help. One thing we did add, Steve, was back in January at the fishing show, we done a pre-registration show bonus. And we had 17 teams take advantage of that. And what we've done is if one of those 17 teams in the first 17 that signed up and paid entry fee at the fishing show wins the tournament, they get a $500 bonus on top of that $3,000 first place. So that was a little something we done at the show.
Man, that was a good setup on that deal. That sure was. It's well worth that early entry. Let's see about the caller here. Hello.
Hey, Steve.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is Trill.
Hey, Michael.
Hey, ask them about if they're going to take care of the fish better than they done last year, if you don't care, old buddy.
Don't care a bit, buddy. Hopefully, I know he's got that on his bullet cards here. We'll be addressing that right here shortly, Michael.
Thank you, buddy. I just want to make sure that was covered.
All right, man. Appreciate you calling in.
Yeah, buddy.
See you, bud.
Thank you, buddy.
Okay, buddy.
Yeah, we had last year the fish. Some of our helpers were new and shaking the bump bags at the bump take before coming to the scales. We're shaking a little too hard to try to get all the water off and try to get some of the water stuck in the bags and around the fish. They were trying to get that drain, and I seen it happening, and we've addressed it. I've spoke with those guys, and absolutely the caller's right 100%. That's on me as the tournament director, and we're going to take steps this year to correct that and keep that from happening.
Sounds good. We we all about taking care of our catches and any little thing we can do in the boat during the tournament when you're catching the fish, netting the fish, putting them in the live well, and then bringing him to the weigh-in. Anything we can do to help preserve our future is what we want to do.
Absolutely.
So it's good. Appreciate Michael calling in as Michael Trail. And he watches the show weekly and avid fisherman, and I know he was concerned, and so I'm glad you
rightfully so, and I was too, and like I said, I think we've got a few things in place to try to correct that and take care of that, and that's one of those things we talked about earlier, Steve, where you learn as you go.
Right.
And we're gonna work on that, and we're gonna work on the holding tank after coming off the stage with the scales back to your guy's bag to go back into the lake. We're going to work on the temperature of that water and try to not be as big a shock to the fish going into that water. We're going to put a tent over that tank as well, keep it iced down, keep it cool, as well as we did the bump tank standing there before going up on the stage to the scales. So we've got some things to work with this year and try to correct from last year. That's one of those deals where we're early in the process and learning, and the caller is right. We need to, that's something we've got to get better at. Absolutely.
Well, let me add to this. After the tournament last year, he and I talked, and I suggested he call TWRA and got Mike Jolly, the fisheries biologist, up there and see if he could give us a little help, a little insight. And he did, Travis did. And so I'm sure there's going to be some better things in place down there, and that's what we're looking forward to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, spent quite a bit of time on the phone with Mr. Jolly, and he was very receptive to me, and really appreciated my call and my concern about the fish, and you know, trying to talk with him and figure out tips and ideas from him and what we could do to correct the problem that that the caller was calling about. So we're going to work at it, and trust me, I promise you, we will do everything we can do to make it the best it can be for them.
Well, you know, like you said, we learn something every go round, and if we don't get something right this time, we'll got next year to correct it. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's a good thing. Always making corrections, but I think everything will go a lot better, and I know you've spent a lot of time on that with Mike Jolly and studying this thing, like putting the tin over the holding tank and all that stuff. So we do want to protect our catch, and I think we'll do a good job of doing that.
Absolutely.
All right, what's on the next bullet?
Well, we've talked about the tunnel start for blast off. That's something I didn't announce last year before the tournament that morning, and I will this year, but I'll go ahead and say it again tonight. Because a lot of guys was asking and calling me that day, can they come and weigh in early? They was afraid they was going to lose some fish. Absolutely, you can weigh in early.
Okay.
We'll have the scales set up, the tanks ready by 11, 12 o'clock. I hope nobody weighs in that early, but if they have to, we'll get them weighed in.
Yeah.
But by 11 or 12 o'clock, we should have everything set and ready to roll. And, yeah, absolutely, if you need to weigh in early, weigh in early. There will be no penalty for weighing in early. If it'll save them, get them in early and get them back in the water, absolutely.
Okay. You know, fortunate enough to catch, and let me tell you the deal on this thing. You know, this time of year, some of the fish are coming off the bed, and they're weak. Yeah. And, you know, it's no fault of ours or anybody else's. That's just the way it is. And so, you know, if you get if I had 20 pounds of fish by 11 o'clock, yeah, I'd be headed to the weigh-in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I wouldn't want to take a chance on losing not nary one of them.
No, I wouldn't either.
So that's the thing. Get them in, get them weighed in, get them right back in the water and let them rest up again. So,
yeah. Then just sit back and relax. Go ahead and be the first one to get one of those good hot dogs and get ready to watch chaos as everybody piles in and starts weighing in.
I'd get in the shade and take me a nap.
Absolutely. and you speak of shade, that's you know, we're blessed to have the City of Kingston Parks and Recreation
nice
just
facility.
Open their facilities up to us and let us have it for the day.
Nice facility.
Could not thank them enough. For what they do for us, for allowing us to just have at it and you know, shutting it down, and I'm sure there's a lot of sport boating people that probably not too happy with us, but you know, it's one time a year, and it's you know, you look at what we're doing it for. There's other options that morning, and you know, and like I said, it's just can't thank Rick Ross and the City of Kingston Parks and Rec for all they do to help us out with this, and they've been on board since year one, and you know, hopefully can keep growing. You know, I had some people tell me last year, like I said earlier, kind of called me crazy and thought I was crazy for trying to do it at the city park. Well, after it was over, they said, you guys pulled it off.
Yeah.
You know, and until we can't pull it off there, we're going to keep going. Keep going with it there until, because the setup's perfect there for our stage from the Tennessee Team Trail, another sponsor of ours. We bring their big trailer in, set up their stage. There's plenty of room for it. There's plenty of room for our tables, for our raffle items, for our door prizes we give away to these competitors. You know, we've got the big pavilion they recently built several years ago with all the picnic tables, the bathroom facilities. It works out great for trying to feed all these guys that afternoon. And you know, when these guys come in, being out on that lake all day, a lot of them take snacks and stuff out with them. But if they don't, some of them do and don't eat their snack. You guys, a lot of you, and I've fished these tournaments, you're starving to death when you come in. You just want to get your fish weighed and go eat. And it works out good. It's a great setup for us. So I want to thank those guys for allowing us to have it there.
All right, man. That sounds like a good.
Door prizes, again, this year we should have quite a good selection of door prizes for the competitors. What we'll do is we've got a list of door prizes, and we'll go down that list item by item, and we will randomly draw a name out. Everybody that fishes a tournament, as long as they have printed their name where it's readable on that sign-up sheet for our staff to read, we put your name in a bucket, and we pile everybody's name in one bucket, and then we'll start at the top of that door prize list, and we'll go to the first prize. We'll reach in and draw a name. You get that prize, you tag. Next, so on and so forth. And that drawing, we generally let a kid do the drawing. Send anybody you want to come and watch it. That way you understand and see it's legit. It's a honest deal. There's no way, nobody can say, well, so-and-so knows Travis. He's good friends with him. He got $100-something rod, and I got a $3 plug. That's not happening, folks. We don't do that. That's not the way we roll. So anyway, door prizes this year must be claimed the day of the tournament. If you fail to claim your door prize at the tournament, it goes back in for next year.
Okay.
So anyway, that's one thing. I got a couple of folks that caught that last year, called me and asked me about their door prize, and I told them yes. And a couple of them have still yet to get that prize back from me. And if I don't deliver it between now and next Saturday, hopefully they'll show up Saturday and I'll get it to them. But I still have their prize with their name on it, and I will get it to them.
All right. Let's see this caller here before you get to something else. Hello, caller.
Hey, guys.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Travis, this is David. I've got a thing to throw out here.
Go ahead, David.
All right. If we can get boat number 100 pre-registered, I'd like to, I've got a $100 bill to pay for the 100th boat.
Sounds like a challenge coming right there to me.
Sounds like it to me.
I'd like to do that. If we get boat number 100 pre-registered, I've got a $100 bill to pay their entry fee.
I tell you what, this is
man.
For those of you out there that can hear that voice on the phone and don't know him, it's David Brackett, and couldn't do us without David. David is a big-time helper with me. I told David's one of my best friends, and I told David what I wanted to do before I really told anybody else about this back in January of 14, Steve. And David jumped on board with me, and he's been all in since day one. David gets out there and helps me put flyers on the windshields at boat ramps on Saturday. He goes by himself for me and puts flyers out. He talks to people. He spreads the word. He helps me do leg work throughout the course of the 5 or 6 months leading up to it. He's at the fishing shows with me. Couldn't do it without him. Appreciate you being there, David, and thank you for everything you do.
Okay, folks, so you understand, if you're the 100th person to enter this tournament, pre-registered before the tournament, your entry fee is going to be paid by David.
That sounds like a pretty good deal to me.
You've done made $100 before you ever fished the tournament.
That sounds like a pretty good deal to me.
That's a pretty good deal to me. David, you wouldn't take my number, would you? I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
You know that. I appreciate you.
Hey, guys, I'm sure I've got somebody out there listening that would probably do the same thing for boat 150.
All right, man. That sounds good.
Yep. I think that sounds like a good challenge, David. Thank you.
Guys.
Appreciate it.
Buddy.
Thank you.
See you, man. All right, David, I'm going to cut him off, Travis, and David's gone. But now, David, this guy's hanging on. He's probably going to be the one to do the 150. Hello, caller.
Hey there. I was going to ask, how old do you have to be in the tournament?
It must be at least one person on board the boat, 18 years of age or older.
Okay. And what time is blast off again?
That's kind of yet to be determined.
Right.
It's going to be at safe light just as quick as I can get you guys out. I think right now, on a good clear night, we're looking at 6:10, 6:15. It's getting daybreak. So last year, I think about 10 after 6, we sent everybody out. So, as long as we don't have a fog delay or anything like that, hopefully by 6:15, I'm firing you guys out of there next Saturday morning.
Sweet.
Yeah. So,
all right, well, thanks a lot.
Going one boat at a time, it takes a little longer, and I realize that. So we will have the invocation and national anthem before safe light that morning, and then just as soon as I make a few announcements, I'll get out to the start boat, and we'll get you guys rolling and get you out there so y'all can get after it. And
all right, sweet. Looking forward to it.
thank you. We appreciate it.
All right,
hey, man. Thank you, bud.
you know, Steve, that's one thing we're going to try to do this year better, and I think we've got it covered. Is a lot of the guys have told me when I've asked for feedback about it. A lot of the guys that were back in the back, you know, as far as the blast-off order last year, the little microphone I had out on the start boat, they really couldn't hear me that well because once these boats started going and running, couldn't hear me that well out on the start boat. So I think we're going to have that figured out. I think we're going to have a better sound system.
Yeah.
We'll try to have some speakers around the docks there at the park and over on the pits. That'll help. And, you know, surely I think doing it one boat at a time like this through that tunnel will help with the noise as well. Excuse me. And yeah, that's another thing we're going to work on this year is trying to help you guys back there in the back that's late going out be able to hear us better.
Yeah. Okay.
Future plans will be to have a LED screen out there on the start boat showing the number, you know, flashing numbers. You know, hey, boat one's going, boat two, but I also need you guys out there to be working with each other and helping me out. Be talking to the guys in the boats around you. Hey, what number are you? Yeah. You know, try to be staggering yourself and placing yourself around and get ready to be there. You know, so.
Oh yeah.
And it gets chaotic when you got that many boats and you're trying to pay attention to making sure you don't get into each other. But you know, it's just something that gotta do and help with is try to talk to people around you and see where you at and what number.
Right. It just benefits the fishermen. It gets us all out quicker, and you know, everybody wants to get going. You're sitting there, you know, you've been up since 4 o'clock in the morning, and you're excited. You're ready to go.
I think I actually woke a few up when we started. Last year, I had a friend of mine, Ryan Ladd. He has a firehouse DJ business. He does a lot of events as a DJ, and he showed up last year and unloaded his equipment. And he fired up a little bit of music there for a little while that morning. I think a lot of the guys liked that they was talking about. But we used his system to play the national anthem, and that worked out well. So
nice.
He'll be there this year, and that'll help with hearing him. But I think when he fired the music up, and then I started making announcements, I believe we woke some folks up out there in the boat. So, that's probably a good thing. They might have been there after blast-off was over. So.
I agree.
But yeah, hopefully blast-off will go a lot better this year.
All right. What else you got for us?
Well, I got to thank some sponsors. As you and I have talked about, we wouldn't be here without these folks.
That's right.
It takes all of them. But I want to start out with some major players. Third year, been there since day one. First off, that's Lemons Construction. That's my father's business. You know, he's been a major blessing to me from day one with it. Bunch Marine, like I said earlier, that's where our pre-registration's at. Curtis Bunch, a great friend of mine, he's been on board since day one. You know, he believed in what I come to him with and wanted to do, and he's just been right there and been amazing. Tennessee Team Trail, they provide our stage, our scales to weigh these guys, do our thing. They're a good sponsor of ours 2 years in a row now with the Team Trail. Ken Joe Markets out of Maryville in Blount County. Knoxville TVA Employees Credit Union. We've got Ratchet's Bar and Grill, Kingston Parks and Rec, the City of Kingston Police run security the night before the tournament after we set everything up. So those are major 3-year sponsors that have allowed us to be able to do what we do. So I want to thank those guys from the bottom of my heart. More sponsors to thank. Glenn's Auto Parts of Rockwood, 518 Liquor and Wine in Rockwood. Kittrell's Kitchen on Galahar Road in Kingston. I want to thank those folks, Marie and Greg and all of them out there. Whitfield Electric Motors of Dalton, Georgia. That's a sponsor I was telling you. They came up last year and fished a tournament. They stepped up this year and have sponsored our fishing tournament and our golf tournament this year. They're great people and great folks, and I want to thank them for getting involved. Texas Roadhouse of Turkey Creek. Well, thank those folks. They're a second-year helper. Texas Roadhouse Fishing Pro Mike Del Visco has helped advertise and helped us promote. He's done some stuff on the local news channels out in Knoxville the last couple of days this week, and he's really pushed our tournament for us over those medias. He was at the Dine to Donate night the other night with us up there at Texas Roadhouse. Appreciate him being there, and thank you for all you do, Mike. That's got a lot of other sponsors as well on board. They'll be noticed the day of the tournament on their signs. Got one outfit that has sent a sponsor and donation check, and I'd like to thank Long Electric and Dan Long. Mm-hmm. Dan called me and said he wanted to help the children, and just want to say a special thank you to you, sir. You had asked me earlier tonight what several people, I think, had asked you and mentioned about the traffic in Kingston right now with the interstate and the bridge work going on, the construction. I don't see that being an issue that morning because it's so early. Hopefully everybody's at home in bed except for you guys, and it's easy for you to get there and get in the water at that time. Except for my helpers. I hope they're up in there.
Yeah, right.
For the folks that want to come in that afternoon and watch their husbands or sons or daughters or boyfriends, wives, whatever, weigh in this deal, or just want to come and enjoy it and see what we do, traffic probably be crazy on the interstate that afternoon, and it's backups both directions, east and westbound. Leave in plenty of time, folks. We'll start weighing in at 3 o'clock that afternoon. Leave in plenty of time to get there. That's all I can tell you, because the interstate may be wide open, Steve, and there may be 4-mile backup both directions. You never know what it's going to be like. There's obviously optional routes to get there on Highway 70. You can get off the Westville exit up on top of Rockwood Mountain on 40 coming in from west, and you can wind your way down through Rockwood and come up 70 from Rockwood. You can come off Galahar Road and come down 70 into Kingston.
Right.
You can come Highway 70 all the way up from Lenore City. And then anybody coming in from south can come up 58 into town. So there's other ways to get there, but make sure you plan plenty of time, folks, because it could be kind of chaotic that afternoon.
All right. Let me give you a little bit of good news right here, which you've got a lot of good news. I'm going to give you another little bite. There's a gentleman text me just a little bit ago, and I try to keep my volume down on the phone. He's the owner of the Corner Lot Trading, LLC in Rockwood. His name's Mr. Gary Baisley. He wanted me to let you know he's going to donate $1,000 to your tournament.
Mr. Baisley, thank you, sir. Thank you.
He said he done that for the golf tournament, and he couldn't not sit by and not do that for the fishing tournament. And he's one of my sponsors here recently, and I can't thank him enough.
I'll be sure and write that info down and take it. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Thank you.
So, Gary, we appreciate you doing that. And can I take a minute to talk about Gary's business?
Absolutely.
He's got delivery service. He's got a truck and a trailer there. So if anything that you all might need, he's got it to get you what you need delivered to you. If you can't come and pick it up. Also, he's got this Monterey compost coming in for your gardens. And there's some discounts that when you go down there, if you're buying fence post or mulch or what have you, you need to check, because some of the suppliers he deals with are offering discounts on the pricing. So don't forget that. If you go to the Corner Lot Trading there in Rockwood, make sure you mention those discounts by the providers of the services that he's got to offer.
Absolutely.
And Gary, thanks for the donation, man.
Thank you, sir.
And want to take a minute while you're doing that, while you just mentioned all these sponsors, folks. Remember my sponsors: Edgemore Outdoors, the bank. Those people. I just can't thank them enough. They're involved in all this stuff that we do. And, so we can't, the candy store there in Oliver Springs. And, man, I tell you what, I don't know what I've done with my sponsor list, but I can't, trying to think of all of them. They've been running on the screen. And, but you do remember that. I didn't give that to you.
You may have. Is that it?
I did.
I've been hiding it.
Reynolds Racing and Marine, folks. Do follow that on his website. Go to, get on the website there, Reynolds Racing Marine. He's got a lot of boats and stuff there, engines, deals to work on, or you can look at and check up on if you want to do that. Do remember the website. And Tim's Tires, same way. Can't do that without them. And best deals in town, Citizens Bank, the roofers. If you need bonded, licensed, insured, if your roof needs repair, Edgemore Outdoor Sign Shop, Rome Street Grill, best food in town, Pamela Ann's Fudge and Candies, Carm, and Shared Treasures and Mount Pisgah Bible Printing, all those folks. Just had to mention them. Well, I don't have to, but, you know, that's what I'm supposed to do, just like you do, and we want to thank them and thank your group.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We got about 2 minutes.
You get 150 votes, 150 is paid for.
Thank you, sir.
There you go, folks. My right hand man. The challenges have been laid. My right hand man just stepped up and gave the $100 entry fee for the boat 150.
There it is.
All right. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, sir.
All righty. Courtesy of Let's Go Fishing. Can't beat a deal like that.
Nope. Great deal. Thank you so much. We appreciate
All right.
it. Looking forward to seeing everybody next Saturday, May the 21st, Kingston City Park. Whether you fish or not, come on down, folks. It's going to be a great day. I think you'll really enjoy what we've got. Participate in some other things. You got a chance to win a nice Yeti cooler. Got a chance to win a Polaris Razor late in the fall in November. You can get your tickets there. Nowhere else are you going to get chances or win a Yeti cooler or a Polaris Razor for that price of a ticket. And no better cause, in my mind, will it go for. There's a lot of great causes out there. And,
I agree.
And it's not the only cause, and it's not the greatest cause, but in my mind, it's a great cause.
Yes, sir. All right, folks, I hope you've enjoyed our show. And Mike, Let's Go Fishing will help you and on your donation. And folks, if hey, drag your feet so you can be 150 or 100. David, there we got 100 and 150 is paid for, folks. All we need is somebody to go sign up.
Absolutely.
And Travis, man, it's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
I hope
it.
I'm here next year to have you back again.
I hope I'm around to be here as well.
Okay.
Fourth annual next year. Thank you.
All right, folks. God bless you. Hope to see you at the tournament. If not, see you next week.
Country Fresh Foods. You may not know the name, but you definitely know the taste. Our homemade fudge is shipped all over the country. Its quality is unmatched, and it's made right here in Oliver Springs. But you don't have to travel all over to enjoy it. You can get it right here at our retail store, Pamela Ann's Fudge Candy Gifts. The highest quality fudge in a countless variety of flavors. And we also carry a variety of candy and unique gifts for you to enjoy. Come enjoy the taste you have loved for years at Pamela Ann's Fudge Candy and Gifts in Oliver Springs, a division of Country Fresh Foods.
Rodney and Kay Harback invite everyone to come on over to Rome Street Grill to experience a pleasant dining experience with them. Rodney knows how important it is to get folks back to work after lunch, so they have a speedy lunch at Rome Street Grill. They will get you in and get you out. Every day they have a special at lunch or order off the menu. So go visit the fine folks at Rome Street Grill. Call them at 865-285-6025. That's Rome Street Grill, across from Jerry Duncan Ford in Harriman. Call them at 865-285-6025.